Here.
Are we live?
Welcome back, guys. We have round
Hi
3
there.
starting. We have pod 1. We have Andy on Atraxa, who won SCG Con Columbus.
Yeah.
We have Zane, who won Surfside. Very good Rockside player.
Yeah, he's been on a streak.
He's been on a streak.
Crazy
He's
with
been doing
Rockside.
very well recently.
Yeah.
He went back to Rockside recently, and he has been playing very well.
Yeah, he's 2-0 right now. He said, I'm not going to lose a game this tournament. He's already said it.
He already said it. Okay.
Yeah.
He likes to hype himself up. I think it
Yeah.
works for him.
It works.
And then third we have LJ, who's always on Edric. So,
Yeah. Edric, the only person above Zane in points right now.
Yeah, is Edric.
So,
And
also
then
2-0.
in fourth position we also have Sharky, who's
Yeah.
won Chaos Tournament. He's topped a lot of Mox Masters. He's on Tevesh Crom. That's what he basically always plays.
Yeah, known for Tevesh Crom.
Known for Tevesh Crom. So should be a good game. I think
This
we're
is-
almost done with mulligans. We'll hop over to the gameplay.
Yeah. Looks like we're still resolving mulligans. This is gonna be a crazy game.
It is. I think Atraxa and Edric are like pairing up here. It's basically we're on diagonals, right? Atraxa and Edric are kind of on the same axis where like they want a little bit of a slower grindy game.
Yeah.
And they want to control the board. And then Tevesh Crom and Rockside are like, I would like to kill you on turn 2, please.
Yeah. Well, Tevesh is a little slower, right? Because you're choosing intentionally not to
It's
play
like
Rockside.
it's like the Grixis version of Tymna Crom where you're like, I can go fast. But then if you stop me, I'm like, here's my advantage stuff.
Yes,
You know, like-
I've seen many turn 1 Teveshes.
in the Tevesh and the Crom kind of enable this like style of mulligan where like you can keep hands of all mana.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
Rogsai, you don't really want to do that. You can't do that. Like,
yeah, and you've got that like safety net that Rockside doesn't have. That your commanders just draw you a bunch of cards.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have, and you can definitely play the fast game. You can really play the fast game.
You can really play the fast game.
Yeah. So we're gonna see. Is it Traxxas on the play? Who's on the play?
Yeah, Trax is on the play. Zane is in second seat on Rogsai. We have
Okay.
LJ on Edric and seat 3, and we have Sharky Eric on Tevesh Crom in seat 4. So
Yeah, would not be surprised to see Eric keep maybe a slower hand in 4th seat, expecting, the players are going to be interacting and pulling up interaction, things like that, trying to get the late game. Zane in 2nd seat here, I would expect a faster start. I could be wrong, but I think, being in 2nd seat, being the fastest deck at the table, I have a feeling he's going to be going very aggressive very early.
I'm excited. It's always fun to watch Zane play Rogsai as a fellow Rogsai pilot. He's very good at the deck, and the deck is like we both talk about it. Like the deck is just really hard sometimes, and you never feel like you can see every line. Like
Yeah.
Zane missed a line in festival finals with Paradise Mantle, a card he was making fun of the week before.
Yeah.
So which was really funny. If he had seen the line with Paradise Mantle, he wins that game, but he didn't see it. And like
Yeah.
the deck has a lot of like weird nuance besides just like here's ad nauseum. Like it's a very cool storm deck that's a lot more complicated at face value, I think.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of decks have like I mentioned the safety net of Tevesh, Crom, Tymna, all these things. You don't have that safety net.
No,
you
you're
are
like
fully reliant.
You're on the edge of the knife, like at
Yeah.
all times. If you make that one slight misstep, it can just cost you the game, which is I think where a lot of the hate for the deck comes from. Like people either pick it up and they're like, "Wow, I just keep losing," or "Oh, this good Rogside pilot killed me again on turn 2." Like,
Yeah.
it's a very polarizing deck.
Yeah, cedh is a format where any deck that you play a lot, it will reward you for your knowledge. It'll reward you for how you're playing, right? Like you're sequencing everything. Rockside does that a lot. You really get rewarded for tight play.
Yeah, you get rewarded heavily for
Yeah.
knowing your deck really well. More so than any other deck, I think.
I would say so. Yeah, I think in the right hands, I would consider it definitely. Obviously, everybody says it's one of the top decks. I might consider it the top deck in the right hands.
In the right hands, I think it is the top deck. It's just it can just fold. It can just crumple, and that's when it looks really bad. You're like, oh, the joke of like, oh, we folded interaction, we folded to one stacks piece, like because sometimes, yes, it just happens. Like your hand was not good enough to beat all these things, right? Like you couldn't beat the stack interaction, you couldn't beat the one stacks piece. Sometimes that just happens. It's a game of high variance, this format, so sometimes you just hit the low end of the variance.
Yeah,
but you can see by like all the data we're getting that it is a very consistent deck if you play it well.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you can't play around everything in cedh. Sometimes
Yeah,
they just
you
have
can.
the mind break trap.
Sometimes your opponent just has everything,
Yeah.
right? Like they just have it all.
Yeah, yeah. That's the game. Yeah, Roxai I really like. What we have not seen today on camera is Kinnan.
We have not. I'm
This
actually
is-
surprised. I have not
too.
seen a whole lot of Kinnan. I know that when Satellite Max is here on Kinnan,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
gonna hopefully get him on stream maybe next round.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd like to see that.
But I thought I would see more Kinnan. I thought maybe Ian would be playing Kinnan, but he decided to go for Tivit this tournament. So
Yeah, it's kind of funny because Ian, he's a smart guy. He plays the deck. People want to play it, especially when he does so well with it. And he's like, okay, you guys are playing Kinnan. Maybe I'll bring some Tivit. Maybe I'll bring the
I'll
Craft
Tivit.
Digger's Cage deck.
He just like switches around
Yeah,
constantly,
he
which I
does, he
think is
does.
actually one of his strengths besides his like social skills in the pod.
Yeah, he just picks up a deck and does well with it. Yeah, so I expect to see more Kinnan. Honestly, my prediction for this weekend was going to be that Kinnan was going to be very popular and Roxai was going to be very popular.
I thought it was going to be very mid-range. Like I thought we were going to see lots of TNK-esque decks, like
Yeah.
things that want to grind into the mid game. And
Yeah.
I was telling Hall, I was like, just play Roxai. Like we want to go under those decks. Like if we
Yes.
can just go under those decks, so you can probably like win enough games to top.
Yeah,
And
I'd say
like
so.
he didn't listen to me.
He
I'm
was-
sorry.
he played TNK.
Yeah, he played TNK.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think that was the pick this tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, yesterday he was very high on Roxai. Today he was very high on TNK. I think he just decided on TNK.
Looks like we have hands from everyone but Tefesh Crom. I mean, what are you looking for Tefesh Crom going last here? Do you want to go for the fast win, or do you want to just deploy one of your commanders on turn one?
I'm looking to play Value Engine. I don't think, especially
You want one of your commanders on turn one.
yeah, one of my commanders, or maybe a Mystic, or maybe not a Mystic, maybe just a Ristic. Give me a Ristic. Give me a.
I mean,
Tevish.
that's the best turn one play in our format, right?
Yeah,
I always
yeah.
want the turn one
Of
Ristic.
course, but I'm not going for an early win. I don't think. I don't know how deep he's mulliganing here, but he's been mulliganing for a while.
Yeah, it looks like LJ kept 6.
Yeah.
And not sure what Zane kept. I think Atraxa kept 6 as well. But we'll see how it plays out here.
Game is starting yet, right?
Not started.
Take like a 5-second break.
Okay, we're gonna take just a quick break while Eric resolves his mulligan, and then we'll be right back. And we're back. It looks like we have a Git probe from Andy. Looking at the hand, and we have a pregame gemstone from Zane. I think I'm terrified if we have gemstone from the Rogueside player. Try to find out what's going on there. We have the Mox Diamond pitching Ancient Tomb. It's interesting that we're pitching Ancient Tomb. I guess our hand just doesn't say I have a bunch of colorless artifacts. And we also have a carpet into a death ray.
Diet Mountain Dew. That is so interesting. So specific. Okay, Diet Mountain Dew. Gotcha.
Thank you.
Do I drink it?
And we also have the Ancient Tomb. Wow, we have a lot of mana from Roxai as well. So Atraxa and Roxai have a lot of mana. I'm just
Yeah.
curious what the payoff is. It a wheel? We're tapping the Mox Hammer and Ancient Tomb. We just have a wheel. Yeah, we just
Yeah,
have a
turn
wheel.
one wheel.
Turn one
Okay,
wheel.
so Jim's starting
Eric,
to-
Eric is super happy with that. It looks like Eric mulled the 3. He's like, yes, yes, please,
Please.
Yeah,
resolved.
2 lands and like a windfall. Yeah, resolves.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is probably bad for our Adric player.
This is probably bad for Edric. It
and
looks
good for
like,
everybody else.
I mean, the keep looks like fine. It's like a few lands, a fairy mastermind, and like an interaction spell. So he's probably not too upset, honestly. The Atraxa player is thrilled.
Oh
The
yeah.
Atraxa player dumped their entire hand, and they have a new 7. So they're
Yeah. Yeah, I believe I saw a Force Negation in Zane's hand, and not much else. Hard to tell.
yeah. I mean, we got mana down and we got new 7, so I think they're happy. We got Trop Bird. I'll take that off a wheel.
And a Mox Opal with no
And
artifacts.
a Mox
That
Opal,
happens.
sure.
Okay, Adawara for land. Yeah. Mana Crypt. Hey, this is like ideal. If we have a Ristic study, I'm gonna lose my mind. Mystic Remora. Okay, this is
Okay.
This is what you would.
We've unmulliganed into a very good hand.
Yeah, yeah. This is we would have snap kept the 7, whatever it is. Okay. Yeah, Crypt, Mystic Remora.
Remember when I said I kept 3? I kept the 7. This is my 7.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad we spent 20
We
minutes.
also
mulliganing.
got to put 3 cards in the graveyard for free. Like what?
Yeah.
I don't think you could be any happier as Eric here. Like
You could
this
be
is-
you could be a little happier.
you
Your mana situation.
I was gonna say your land could be better, but
Yeah.
I'll take this. I'll take Mana Crypt Mystic Remora from
Yes.
a random 7 cards
Yes.
with a land that casts the Mystic Remora. Thankfully,
Yeah.
like what if he didn't have a land that casts Mystic Remora? Like,
Yeah, and notably, Zane. Okay.
Mental Missteps the
Nox
Noxious.
Survival. Targeting.
Wonder-
What is that? Heuristic study? It looks like a heuristic study. Oh.
Heuristic Study?
Oh, that was a misstep on the fish.
Missed up on the fish. Okay, we missed up the fish. Ooh, okay, never mind. We're sad now.
Yeah, we're sad.
We're sad.
That's rough.
We read the high. We read the high of looking at the wheel hand for a few seconds.
And Zane's got a Vamp
And
Tutor.
a Vamp Tutor.
Okay, this is an untap. This is before Andy untaps.
Before any untaps, yeah.
Yeah. So.
So we have one. Do we have any island? We have a trop, so card makes 1. We have 3, 4. So
What?
we could. The Noxious Rival, the Ranger Captain. Yeah, that it was face up on top of the deck.
Okay. That seems fair.
Yeah, the Noxious was in response to the Mystic Remora. Then Zane Mental Misstep the Mystic Remora. Sure.
Yeah. So Zane here with 1, 2, 3, 4. With another land or another source of mana, Zane could potentially hold up maybe Vamp Tutor for an ad nauseum, hold up with protection with Force Negation. Is something that
Yeah, we could
do.
add Nauseam off someone else's turn.
Yeah.
It should be
Or-
fine.
Yeah, or alternatively maybe just Vamp Tutor for like a Ristic or maybe even like a Necro to draw some cards.
I assume it's usually value, but maybe
Yeah.
the protection in his hand is good enough to just go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
But if this Ranger Captain comes down, we're real sad here. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
This is what we don't like.
we do not like that. But it's
It,
not
it
gonna
does make
stop-
like ad nauseam on someone else's turn better. Then we have all the options in the world to deal with the Ranger. Like we could rip Deadly Relic off our ad naus before their turn,
Yes,
and like
yes.
we just get to go to our turn without the Ranger Captain, which would be ideal. Obviously.
Yeah, you can't really. The only thing you can really do if you're worried about the ad nauseam, you could crack the Ranger Captain and then cast a counterspell, I guess.
I guess. Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
that's a line you could take. But yeah, we'll just have to see. Players are playing with just the random cards they were dealt.
I always say that Ranger Captain's text is just find Esper Sentinel. It doesn't have any other text.
I mean, I guess finding Esper Sentinel is definitely part of this card.
The ETB doesn't say anything else.
No,
It says find Esper Sentinel.
It does say find it.
Like I don't.
Yeah, I found a Ragavan, but it's
I get
only
really
because Esper was in
confused
play.
when I have Esper Sentinel in play.
Yeah.
And my Ranger Captain ETBs, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what do I get? Like,
I will say the first time I saw somebody Ranger Captain for like Walking Ballista, I was like, oh, it's actually really sweet.
Yeah.
But
like,
you just don't do that in cedh.
yeah, like,
Maybe
doesn't happen
Heliod
with
Ballista. It's sweet in Heliod Ballista, actually.
Captain. The other land was probably exiled the Gemstone, because we have a lucky Gemstone. So.
Activate Deathrite Shaman at end of turn. May have activated Deathrite at some point.
No, it had Summoning Sickness. We activated Death Rate just to cast the Ranger Captain.
Okay.
The other land exiled by Zane should be the card exiled from Gemstone. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're taking our time. We got Ristic. I assumed as much.
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling.
This is usually where I like to be as the ROG player.
Yeah, paid for the Esper as well. Have any color mana up, sit on
Yeah.
Ristic. You're feeling good. You're feeling good.
Especially with the Ranger Captain coming down, I really like because he knew the Ranger Captain was coming down, so I like getting the
Yeah.
Ristic instead.
Yeah, and then we've got Edric also playing a Ristic here.
Oh, it's gonna
Triggering
be
everyone.
this kind of game.
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
I'm curious to see if Zane even tries to counter it, if it's even worth countering, because usually when there's two Ristics in play, people just like can't pay for them.
I just don't think I want Edric to have the Ristic because it's probably the most controlling deck at the table, but it looks like it's going to resolve.
I don't know. This deck plays a lot of stinkers.
Does it? Well, we can find
I don't know.
out.
Actually, I have no idea.
We have-
I genuinely have
We
no
have
idea.
the technology. We have 23 instants, which is not
Oh.
too many.
Okay, their creature suite actually doesn't look too bad. The Edric that I haven't seen Edric in like
I haven't
probably
seen
years.
Edric in a while.
It used to play a lot of one drops that have.
I'm gonna have to do some reading on these cards.
Yes. Yeah, we will be pulling cards up. Malcolm Keen-Eye Navigator just hanging out in the main
Yeah,
deck.
we are on Dosun. I can't wait for Dosun to win the
Yeah,
game.
This is
He's gonna at some point. I hope Edric puts Dosun on the stack, and everyone's just like, yeah.
this is
Yep.
like 60 cards different than what I expected, honestly.
Okay. We're on Uro. We have a main deck Uro. We don't have side decks in this
This is
format,
awesome.
but
Yeah.
but we have Uro in the 99.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
There's a lot of very, very different choices. I
It
really
looks like
this.
LJ is riding the subtlety hype, so we do have subtlety.
Okay, so shout out to LJ for not sorry, I shouldn't have called his card stinkers. This deck is sweet.
Yeah. We have a card called Notorious Throng, which I've
Yeah.
never read.
You've never read it? It gets you extra turn.
Extra turn with a bunch of. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, and so we've got the heuristic study is resolved. Okay, the Eric starts his turn off with a talisman. Thankfully,
feeding Esper Rist. Oh,
it's going to give us.
I hope we're ready to sit here for a while because
Yeah.
everyone is going to have a lot of cards in hand, and I just don't.
And
We're feeding another card.
a wish call talisman.
And a wish call
Yeah, we're feeding
talisman.
2 heuristics. Yeah, so
I really like my position as Andy here because we have a Ranger Captain.
yeah, I actually like my position as one of the heuristic players, but
Fair, but if I'm not a Ristic player, I want the
Yeah.
silence effect.
oh, for sure, it's yeah. You are. I think that thing is going to be sandbag. I think this thing is going to stay in play for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And by the way, this deck still plays Thassa's Oracle Consult. It still
I was
plays
gonna
things that win the
I was
game.
gonna
You can just
say,
crack.
I was gonna say at any point we could just crack it and have Thassa's
Yeah.
Oracle like Chain Impact,
Yeah,
console,
Demonic
whatever.
Betrayal, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know what would win, but stuff like that.
I was
could
like,
definitely
I was like,
happen.
we could just crack Captain here. Like this is
Yeah.
actually terrifying.
Yeah, heuristics do not get through that. Otawara, we already see it on the battlefield. I'm noticing a trend of the Grixis deck and 4th seed have a little bit of struggles here in our games.
Yeah, I mean, 4th seed is also just honestly always a struggle. I've never seen decks do too well from 4th seed unless their hand is just very good.
It has to be. If I'm in 4th seed, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm on hard. We're looking for some busted stuff. And even when you play the busted stuff, you're still gonna feed the heuristics instead, espers.
I imagine that there might actually be a win attempt here with how much we're waiting. Yeah, here's a Dark Ritual.
Didn't
Without
even,
the Ranger Crack,
didn't
which
even
is
crack the
interesting.
Ranger Captain. It might be maybe it's just a
We
value.
have a bunch of
Dark
Ristic
Ritual.
triggers.
Yeah. So
Looks like Zane is donating some floating mana tokens here.
yeah, whatever Eric's casting, it's good enough to feel the need to feed multiple heuristic studies.
Yeah.
So this is gotta be something good.
I mean, we could just be ritualing out Atraxa.
True. Yeah, Atraxa putting a bunch of cards in your hand and sitting on Ranger Captain is not a bad place to
It's
be.
Pretty good.
Yeah, Carpet of Flowers. Have we seen? We have two. Carpet of Flowers makes 2. Edric, you're really.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It does make
Okay,
two.
that's great.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could have tapped out for Atraxa. The Dark Ritual allows us to not tap out. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I buy it.
Yeah, you liking the production value? Is this nice? Because we put a lot of hard work into this, and
We like the player cams.
yeah. Player games are great. Let's see some players.
I thought we were just snapping off the Atraxa cast here, but apparently we were thinking about something.
Okay. Yeah, that is a man deep in the tank.
I wonder if Zane's like, you're just playing Atraxa? Have the Red Blast. Don't do it. Like, don't do it.
Yeah, you shouldn't do this. Let me save this for the Edric or something.
We did resolve the glare. We are no glare gamers.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, we really did fix that.
Yeah,
We did great.
It looks much better.
That shiny birds.
And so what do we did just cast Atraxa. It looks like Atraxa's on the battlefield. Yeah,
Okay.
it's on the battlefield. Okay.
Oh, in response, he's going to bounce the Ranger Captain.
No, it looks like end step on the Ranger
or
Captain.
is this? Wait. Well, there's an Atraxa trigger as well, right?
Yeah, did we just like? I didn't see him putting cards down on the table. and-
No, I don't. I assume it's. Still
So the
stacked.
Chain of Vapor must be in response to Atraxa on the stack.
I think
assume?
so. Yeah, I think so. Maybe bounce the Ranger Captain. Hope he can't recast it with what he hits off Atraxa.
Yeah.
That's tough. Although, unless he has something crazy he can cast in response to like
So we
recasting
had-
Ranger Captain.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we did use the carpet mana to cast Atraxa.
Yeah. So there's still 2 mana. They would need to. I mean, they already have double white. They would just need to play any mana source.
Any mana source? So we already made
Yeah.
land drop, right?
Yeah, in the top 10.
Yeah, we already made land drop.
That's tough.
So we're
mental misstep.
misstepping the Chain of Vapor on the Ranger Captain. Okay.
Heuristic Studies trigger. Yep. It looks like maybe Zane could have possibly missed that one, but
I
luckily,
can't imagine that Zane is gonna get any help from the other players, but
No.
and then we also have a Mind Break trap. Yeah.
Oh, Mind Break Trap. Okay. that's best of both worlds, right? Get rid of the Atraxa, get rid of the mental misstep.
Yeah.
So no Atraxa triggers and Ranger Captains bounce back to hand.
Yep.
Might not even have another mana source to
Yeah,
recast the Ranger
he
Captain.
might have just actually maybe he doesn't even care about the Ranger Captain this turn. He just wants to bait to get him to try and protect the Ranger Captain so that he can mind break trap the Atraxa, which is fast. Is really good play.
Yeah. Yeah, Mind Brain doesn't
So
work on those many levels.
Zane didn't have the red blast, but he did have the mind break trap. He was just like, I need you to cast one more spell.
Yeah.
Just one
Just
more,
one more,
please.
please.
How many spells? That was your third spell for turn?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love doing that.
I always
love
love that question. It's like,
Yeah.
Everyone's mind just immediately. Oh, you have mind break trap.
Yeah, I don't have it. I just want to make you think I have it.
Yeah.
What's in everybody's graveyards?
Yeah.
I love saying that.
That question is my favorite. Like,
Yes.
meme bet is not in my hand. By the way, what's in your graveyard? Yeah, the mind break trap sniping everything here is really nice.
Yeah.
And LJ is just sitting back like, this is great. I'm drawing all these cards.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with all my problems for me.
Yep. We gotta hope there's no free interaction here.
I always say that, like people will a lot of time, and yes, the Rogsai is a very dangerous deck, but like sometimes when you remove the Rog preemptively, you do shut off the control part of the deck because it does have the easiest access to the most powerful interaction spells in the game.
Yeah.
And people will just like sometimes kill off your Rog, and you're just like, well, I'm not helping you now. Like I can't do anything now. Like I had Fierce, I had Deadly Relic, etc. Like now I don't have those things. Like
Yeah, I do that a lot. I like over respect Rog. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, I have a sword. I'm just sword.
yeah, just search Rog.
It's
Just get
like-
out of here.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the time it can be the correct play,
Yeah.
but the times it isn't, it just feels so bad as a Rog player. You're like, well, I had Fierce for this win attempt, but now I don't.
Yeah,
Like,
like, I can't pay 3 mana. You can
yeah,
pay 3 mana.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like that has all resolved. We've removed the Ranger Captain,
and
dodged the tracks at ETB all in one fell swoop. It was
and
really tight play.
they're about to sack a land and copy this Chain of Vapor as well. So
They
something's
did
getting
sack the
bounced.
land.
They
Something-
sacked the land.
I can't imagine we're bouncing a Rhystic Study.
It does. If you're worried about Edric, it takes their whole turn back. I guess.
I guess.
Not 100% sure here.
I don't think I'm sacking here. Like
I don't.
Like
Are they
Wishclaw
doing-
is the most appealing target, but I think we're much more worried about Edric and Roxai's turn.
I'm not bouncing Wishclaw. There's no way.
That's what I mean, but that's like the only
Yeah.
thing that makes sense, right? Like take
Yeah.
your turn off to make you play a 3-mana tutor instead of 1-mana tutor.
You're-
Whereas like if they have the win on their turn, who cares if you bounce my Rhystic? I care a
Yeah,
little
exactly,
bit. Like if it gets into a stack war, obviously I care, but
Yeah.
it doesn't stop me from winning, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It's.
and so we bounce anything.
The land is in the graveyard. Am I wrong on that? Looks like there's land in the graveyard.
There's a land in the graveyard. We had 3 lands before.
What did we bounce? 2 mana, 3 mana, recast Ranger Captain. Okay.
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 Did we not? We had 3 lands in play, right? Am I insane?
Truly confused. Unless something got countered and we missed it? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Unless they bounced something of their own.
Chat will help me eventually.
Yeah, help us out, chat.
I mean, so we do have the Ranger coming back. That's a little unfortunate. We didn't quite. Oh, we got a delighted halfling. Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'll take a card for a Delighted Halfling, sure.
Yeah, we've already dodged 1 mind break trap. There couldn't possibly be second mind break trap from Edric, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing gets untap with a lot of cards.
A lot of cards, Aristic. You got a little bit to
With
worry
a
about.
tapped out
that.
Edric, a tapped out Tavesh Krom, and a tapped
Yeah.
out Atraxa. They do have the Ranger Captain.
Oh, did they bounce their own Mox Diamond?
They bounce their own Mox Diamond to recast. That makes sense. And then they pitch the Wooded Foothills. Thank you. See, chat. I knew chat would have my back.
Oh, okay. They
I
did
knew.
this-
I knew chat would have my back.
Yes, thank you, chat. They did this so that they
Yes.
could recast the Ranger Captain.
You're all
this
right.
turn.
Yep. Yeah, they
Okay.
sacked a land, bounced their Mox Diamond, recast the Mox Diamond, pitching Wooded
Yeah.
Foothills, recast the Ranger. That is very good because Andy knows like I have to replay this or we're probably dead to Zane.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. There can be times when you can convince people to be the control role, especially in games when
Yeah.
you have multiple
Zane-
players with Ristic and
Zane's laughing. Is he about to put Wit on the stack?
oh my god. But you can if you have 2 Ristics, you can convince a player like you need to interact here. I'm gonna draw you guys some cards, right?
Yeah.
There's 2.
Yeah.
Multiple Ristic players, they need to deal with each other. Not my problem. You guys can draw some cards.
It is very hard for to beat Ranger Captain as Rogsai. Born Upon a Wind is like a recent addition that really helps with that card.
Yeah.
Um,
One of the another thing that you can do is they correct the Ranger Captain in response. You could Final Fortune.
yeah, that
Get
also
another
is really
turn.
nice. So
That's a
Praetor's
nice one.
Grasping. Okay.
Yeah, or like if you put a defense grid on the stack and they have to respond there. I guess you don't have to respond there. You can just correct it
Yeah.
whenever. But yeah,
So we have a mana floating. Yeah, we have mana floating from Ancient Tomb. So we could be Praetor's Grasping for Dockside. Dockside count is not super high. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 8. No, it's a lot. It's 8. It's 8.
yeah.
Never
so
mind.
We're paying 5 to make 8. Well, with that many cards in hand, Ristic, we got our draw engine. Yeah, usually what you are missing is mana. So
I have to imagine it's Dockside or like Defense Grid for the next turn, or even Born Upon a Wind to try and beat this Ranger Captain.
yeah.
Those are the things that are on top of my mind.
But could you imagine second Ristic?
I could imagine second Ristic. I could absolutely imagine second Mystic. I also love resolving this card in paper because my opponent doesn't get to know what I got. Like
Yes.
it's so frustrating in webcam where like I want to Praetor's Grasp you, but you just know what I have, and like
I know,
you're not
yeah.
supposed to use that information, but you can't unlearn that information. So like
Yeah. I took a Thoracle the other day to try to win with it. The win attempt didn't work out, but
it
it's
is
stopped.
Dockside. Okay.
Yeah, Dockside. Okay.
That's what I thought. Dockside was my first choice.
Let's turn 5 mana into 8 mana.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. I'll take the +3 ritual.
Yeah. Yeah, the plus
It's
3
better than Dark
is-
Ritual.
Yeah, and plus you can use it next turn
Yeah,
when you get on
yeah.
top with 20 mana.
I can battery the mana.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, it's a creature to sack, and
Yeah, Dockside resolves. Looks like you're making some treasures. Looks like Andy might be trying to make a case to do something, but I think it's resolved at this point.
yeah, Dockside for 8, pretty good. Andy with some cards. I got nothing.
Yeah, we don't have anything.
Yeah.
Like you got it.
Careful of the images, things like that.
Yeah, you ever just casually ritual for 8 mana?
Yeah.
This card is not okay.
I like. Okay, I think Zane was counting, but it was kind of funny pointing over there, like, hey, he's got stuff too.
He's got stuff.
His entire board is artifacts.
Edric, I like how Edric has dice for their hand. They have 15 cards in hand.
Yeah. Okay. That is kind of insane.
There is a chance that none of those cards are free interaction.
Unlikely. Unlikely.
Right?
Now, what does this deck do when they untap? What do we?
I
what
assume
are we
I
afraid of?
assume we're setting up. Right? We're setting up some kind of like value, or playing our commander, or
Yeah,
like-
there's a metamorph in the deck. There's no Fimmage. But
Metamorph. Untapping in a Metamorph would be probably the best thing you could do right now with all those cards in
Yeah.
hand. That would be
Yeah.
praying I have Metamorph in my hand.
We got
We
creature-
could have Whirly Tutor in our hand for Metamorph, like
Oh,
things
yeah.
like that. Like
a lot of creature tutors.
I will never stop enjoying how like good copies are in non-red decks because of Dockside's existence.
Yeah.
Like the card is so good that people run multiple copies of effects that can't run the card. Like,
Yeah, they're like, this is just pretend Dockside.
yeah, like
Necropotence on the stack.
Necro. Okay,
Yeah. Oh, did he put a Warrior's Oath on the stack? How's it in the graveyard?
he resolved the Warrior's Oath apparently. Yeah.
And a Necro.
Yep.
Okay.
So funnily enough, I think they're dead. The only time we're not dead is if we whiff on Born Upon a Wind and Edric has enough interaction being tapped out to stop Zane. Because we either whiff on Born Upon a Wind or we might just win the game. We can bring Warriors Oath. It's an extra turn spell. If you're not familiar with it, but you die at your next end step. So let me pull that up for you guys.
Okay. Pull up the classic. Oh, this is the classic. That's okay.
Yeah, so this is Warrior's Oath. It's not out of order, right? Because if the table doesn't know you have Necro, you're just like, okay, here's Warrior's Oath. And like he might have another action spell in his hand.
Yeah.
It's a fairly common line to like extra turn spell before the Necro. So
Yeah, that's It's a little risky. He's going very low. It's something to consider.
It is risky with the Ranger Captain
Yes.
out, but the interesting interaction with end step stuff and Necro and Ranger Captain is that anything at the end step, all like end of turn effects are cleared. So Ranger Captain Silence will get cleared at end step, and if there's a way you can gain priority back an end step, a Necro is one of those ways. The silence effect is gone. So you do have to sculpt down to 7. You have to clean up, but then you don't. You're not silenced by Ranger Captain anymore.
Yeah, it is an absolutely wonky rule.
It's a very weird interaction that like it doesn't come up too often, but in cedh specifically, it always comes up with Necro. Because
Yeah.
Necro is one of the few cards that can give you priority back
Yeah.
in your cleanup.
It also used to matter a lot back when Gitrog was a good deck.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Gitrog does the same thing, right?
Yep.
It puts a draw trigger on the stack when you discard a land. Like Gitrog does the thing where you're like, oh, I'm at 8 cards. I discard down to 7. Oh, it's a land. I have a trigger. I get
Yeah.
priority back. Like,
Yep.
and the weird part about all of it is that Ranger Captain Silence gets cleared. So
Yeah. It's as if it never happened. And Zane with Necro of what was the count?
I think he was at 32, so he went down
Okay.
to 4.
Okay. So huge. I mean, this is
Yeah.
this is the play.
This is the play.
Yeah, like it's weird winning the
This is
game.
what this
or
is
that's
one
it.
of the ways that Rockside beats Ranger Captain. Like this is ideal for Zane here. Hope
Yeah.
and you have 3 treasures, so you're really hoping you hit the Born Upon a Wind. But even if you don't hit the Born Upon a Wind, you can clear the silence effect in your end step. So
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised. Unless
cleanup
Luis
step.
doesn't have anything here, the Necro was able to resolve.
yeah, the Necro resolved, which is a little strange, but maybe he's just banking on the Ranger Captain or banking on that he can interact with like the Born Upon a Wind or whatever else comes next, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got Trax has cards in hand. Eric has some cards, and Edric has a million cards. So maybe there's just a hope that. we
Oh,
can
I
get
don't
through
think we
this.
whiffed. I think we found the Born Upon a Wind.
Oh.
We were going for treasures. He doesn't necessarily need to find removal for Ranger Captain. Like, it's ideal, right?
Yeah.
Like if we do just find like Deadly Relic, sure, that also is great.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they correct the captain in response to Born Upon a Wind,
Yep,
and then the game's over.
that's fair. That's totally true. We don't need Born.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you don't need it, but it helps.
It definitely helps. I always like feel a little internally guilty when I'm doing these Necro lines because once you like put 30 some new cards into your hand, you're like, okay, just give me a minute. I just need like a minute to process all of this new information. Like,
Yeah.
just give me a second. Like everyone's just like staring at you, like, are you gonna do something? It's like, yeah,
slow
30
play.
30 new cards in my hand.
Yep. Okay, Dark Red on the
Dark
stack.
Red.
Ristic Study. He's like, sure.
Sure.
This deck also gets to play a ton of free interaction. Roxai, you get all of your deflected swats and things like that. Are just easy to cast.
Huge
It's-
appeal of the deck. It's like
Yeah.
one of the main reasons to play the deck.
Yeah, you just get it all in turn 1. Right now, yeah, Zane has access to probably more interaction / free interaction than Edric's able to keep up with.
Yeah, it looks like it's Pyro.
Pyroblast on the
It's a new
Mystic.
promo Pyro, yeah, on the Ristic.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Zane with the flex. Okay, he's like, let me count my.
Eldrid's like,
25
hold on, I think I have something for this.
Yeah.
Let me take up my big pile of cards.
Yeah, I'm curious if Andy or Eric are sandbagging anything, or maybe.
I'd be fairly certain that it would have been used on the Mindbreak Trap to protect everything
Yeah.
if he had anything. So I think, and there's the Deadly
Deadly
Relic.
Relic targeting Ranger Captain. Okay.
And it looks like the Pyro on the Ristic also resolved. I think Zane's.
Okay.
I think this game is over.
Yeah, this game feels a little over. The tokens, the Rockside tokens are not available. Unfortunately.
The Rockside tokens are not available. These are Zane's tokens that he made himself of a VTuber called Amy. So
Yeah.
you might be able to convince him to get you some, but you would have to talk to Zane. So
Okay. Edric has something.
so we had the Mimer check. So that was the third spell. So we were waiting for the third spell. It was
And-
a bit unfortunate.
Zane just says, "Okay, snap, Ristic. I have a Ristic."
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, well, doesn't miss anything.
And oh,
Pact negation.
Pact is our only. So we do have to pay for this if it resolves.
Yeah, that's actually tough. He's like, okay, sure.
And if we use our Ancient Tomb, we go to 2, which restricts our some of our tutors, like Vamp Tutor, stuff like that. There's always one thing about Necro you have to be a little bit careful with, is you have to think about like a few of the tutors that ping you for life, and you have to think about your lands that ping you for life.
Yeah.
If you have a mana crypt up, because usually you're going to an extra turn with Necro, there's a lot of like, how much life can I actually afford to use?
Yeah, it's tough when you've got your Imp Seals, your Vampiric Tutors, right? All your lands that tap to damage.
Yeah.
Ancient Tomb. Definitely got to be careful with that. So we got a Pact targeting a Mind Break Trap.
I assume this just resolves. We didn't have anything for the Red Blast, so...
I think Zane might have, maybe he said hang on, holding priority? Not 100% sure. But it looked like...
I mean, yeah, our life becomes a lot easier if the Ranger Captain gets Deadly Relic, so...
Yeah.
Honestly, the fact that the Ranger Captain wasn't cracked, I guess it accomplishes the same thing, so yeah, okay, never mind. We're gonna stop that train of thought. This is a really tough spot for the table to be in.
Okay, Pact Negation resolves, targeting Mind Break Trap. This happens.
So now we neg 5 ourselves for mana, which is not great, but we
Yeah.
do have... we have to sculpt if we don't have Born. That's why I love Born with Necro so much. You're just like, I don't have to sculpt. I'll cast everything. I just have everything.
It's so satisfying.
We have Force of Will. Okay,
Okay.
I wonder if we were sandbagging some interaction, because like you can't possibly have drawn all of these cards off one Rhystic trigger.
No, it's definitely sandbagging, though it's very risky to sandbag in the face of Necropotence.
Right?
So many cards. It's
Yeah.
hard to compete with 30 cards.
I feel like we're supposed to just interact with the Necro. Yeah, see, like I just have Force of Will. Like I have all these cards.
He started to pitch Force Negation and was
Yeah.
like, wait, no, it's my turn. Or, yeah, maybe he's still holding it up. Pitch Windfall.
Windfall,
Yeah, we're
sure.
not casting Windfall. Yeah, I think maybe very risky to not counter the Necro, but
Yeah, I mean, if Zane has second payoff that is a Necro and he goes to his extra turn, sure.
Yeah,
Like,
and-
I don't know.
wow, Atraxa holding Force of Will the
Holding
whole
Force
time.
of Will the whole time.
Which
Damn.
is Phantasmal Image, which they would have loved to have for the dock side. So, a little rough. I wonder if has Zane been catching his Rhystics? Not 100% sure, but Daze. He's like, you tapped out, right? Yeah,
Yep.
here's a Daze.
Here's Daze. Love that card.
Yeah.
Zane was so low on this card for so long, and we were all like, it's a good card, Zane. Like this card's really, really good in this deck.
Yeah.
This deck specifically.
This deck. I
This
would
deck
never play it in blue
specifically.
form, but-
Like, I wonder, does that remove his second blue sword? Oh no, he has 2 treasures. Okay.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully he can, Born Upon the Wind or whatever and
Yeah.
win the easy way, but we'll see. Ranger Captain's still in stack. The Deadly Rock targeting Ranger Captain's still in stack.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's going to be a sacrifice in response.
I assume we're just cracking it.
Yeah, and Zane
And we're gonna
casting
Cabal
Cabal
Ritual. Sure.
And no. You would die.
I'm unsure about the Dark Ritual and the Cabal Ritual. I don't know if it's like to pay for things. I'm unsure.
Yeah.
He might just still have Born Upon a Wind.
That's what I'm
Oh
thinking.
yeah, okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
He still has Born Upon a Wind.
Okay.
Okay. He never needed to go the extra turn. It looks like the Deadly Relic was just a bait. This is actually so smart.
Yeah,
This whole
okay.
if you ever want to learn how to play Rogside, this video right here is a very good clinic on like what you should be doing.
This is a masterclass. This is how you play Roxai, and the reason that Zane is currently 2-0 and
Like
There's-
we didn't even need to do this. It was all just bait. Like obviously we want the Ranger Captain gone, but like this line right here is very tight.
yeah, a lot of players would just say, "Hey, I'll just cast Born Upon One and Necropotence, right?
Yes,
This is good,
yes,
right? I win,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
No.
He just made it out all the interaction at the table, and he
Yes.
still got to Deadly Relic the Ranger Captain,
Yep.
and he still had the Born Upon opponent. And now I think he has access to all the cards from the Necro, and this should be easily just be a win.
Yeah. We've got Mana Vault. Let's see, we're floating.
If I was the players at the table, that's why I was like, the Dark Ritual is weird. Like, what are we doing with the Dark Ritual? We must have something. We're not nausing, right? So we have
Yeah.
something else. The other thing that comes to mind for me is Born Upon a Wind. So like, we must have hit the Born Upon a Wind.
Yeah.
And we have to keep that in the back of our mind.
Yeah. So we've got some mana floating. Zane, counting through all of his cards, looking for the right line here. I'm sure it's not too complicated. Talisman.
Yeah, I think he needs a mana fix for
Or-
Oracle. I saw
yeah.
Oracle in his hands. He needs
Okay.
to make another blue source. Yeah.
Okay, some more colors.
We just naturally have Oracle consoles or something. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Oh,
dockside.
dockside.
Yeah, that works too.
That works. His own dockside.
Uh,
I forgot the other dockside was Eric's dockside. So we just have second dockside.
Yeah, this is okay. Okay, you like dockside. Here's another one.
Dockside is good, but we want second dockside.
Yeah. First one was not enough. This is for, I don't know, 80
I think at this
probably.
point we're going through the motions.
Yeah.
I imagine with all the cards he has, he should be able to go through. Literally asking for graveyard, maybe
Graveyards.
meme bet.
Yeah, meme bet. We've got some. I guess wheels don't really matter here. Meme bet would give you access to more protection, I guess. I don't think you need that. What
It's highly dependent. I'm wondering if he is a little gated by life at the moment.
Possible. Yeah, and the tutors kind of cut off. Yeah, Born Upon a Win.
Born Upon a
the
Win is
truth.
great.
Man, what a card.
I thought this card. I was like, this card is so good with Necro, and I got bullied right when it was revealed. And they're like, no, this card is bad. And now everyone is singing its praises, and I'm a little salty, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because face up value when it was spoiled, I was like, this card seems really good in Necro decks and Rockside specifically. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's bad. And now it's for the most part, I think a consensus very good card in Rockside to make exactly what we're seeing very good.
Yeah. Word on the street. Okay, he's revealing. We have Thoracle. We have Consult. Here it is. He's like, look, I have it. Hey, I have Brain Freeze.
I have Brain Freeze. I have Breach. I have all the
Breach.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the handshake.
Yep. And that.
That was a Rockside clinic. That
Yes.
was very well played. That Necro turn was very, very well played by Zane. Playing around the Ranger Captain, playing around interaction from Edric. Like, it was very well played.
Yeah. Congrats to Zane. What an insane game. Looks like we're gonna take a break here.
Yeah,
How
we'll
much,
take a quick break. We'll check on round time.
Yeah.
We might be able to switch someone onto the stream pod, but if it's too disruptive to the players, we might just be gone for a little while. So
Yes.
take a short break, and we'll see you guys soon.